Well, hello. I am a minute or two early because I want to give time for the notification to go out that I am live and the invitation to come to join me at Tarot Talk with Minnassa, the Diva of Divination. And so we're giving it those few minutes. I just saw my own phone, the notification went out. So perfect. So let me welcome you to Tarot Talk with Minnassa. And hello, Mama Bear. So good to have you here. It's so sitting out the notification. I'm going to try something new today, which is sharing my screen. So being a big girl with this technology. And so it's all good. And I want to thank everyone that watches after the fact because I'll have like a good group, 10 to 12 people, and we're all talking in here. And then I'll check my numbers as I'm uploading. I'll upload tomorrow my Sacred Space with Pastor Minnassa, and I'll do my tarot talk, which is usually on Tuesday. Hey, Jamina, which is usually on Tuesdays, and I'll see like here, now I have 24 views. I'll be like, oh, okay, so all you folks that watch later, thank you. And then those of you that are live with me, thank you. It's always good to have you here. It is fun and a blast. And so I just want to again thank Renee from Tarot Love Community for inviting me and basically pushing me and almost demanding that I do this. But I'm glad to be here. And so usually this show is the first and third Saturday of the month. But what I'm going to do this month is because it's Women's History Month, I'm going to have a show every week. And so right now I'm in the process of inviting guests to come. So I'll be on next week, but I'll put that up and then be on the last week. So on the 19th, which is the third Saturday, when I have a guest, my guest for that day is the one and only Lily Benu, who is my daughter. And so we're going to talk about crystals because she is a subject matter expert when it comes to crystals. And we will probably do some readings. And she's got some amazing decks. She got amazing decks. So I'll have her bring my favorite Alana Fairchild deck, or one of my favorite Alana Fairchild decks. So let's get started. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try to share my screen. Okay, that's why I got my little laptop or my iPad. Tell me, share your screen, screen tips. All right, so here we go. Share my screen. All right, share screen. Okay, I don't have two monitors. This thing is trying to tell me you have two monitors. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. So I'm hoping that you can still hear me and just see my screen. I want to welcome you to Tarot Talk with Minnassa, the Diva of Divination, and I want to invite you. Let's see. All right, let's try this with slideshow. It's all new for me. And so let's get connected. So in the little description down below, it lets you know, it says stream card is sharing a window perfect. That I have a podcast that I would love for you to follow and subscribe to. If we're not already connected, come on over to Instagram. And we're obviously out here on YouTube, and just that information so that we can be connected. And then it gives me an opportunity to follow and connect with you. And I want to talk about Minnassa Spiritual Academy. And I had some amazing, and I will say that while it's in this mode, I can't see the chat. So I will greet you all when I come back. So Minnassa Spiritual Academy, I know a lot of people here are tarot readers, and I see a lot of love for the oracle cards, and that, yes, you can read the tarot cards intuitively. But I am a Virgo, and I'm a professor, and I'm a teacher, and I love systems, and I love learning the system. So I had an amazing group of women that I coached on how to learn to read the tarot cards. We went through the tarot deck using traditional images and then adding additional images. And so that's also available in the link. It's only the major arcana that I made available. And to this, I added a worksheet and some resources. And so this would be a great for you if you're wanting to learn how to read tarot and you want to do it in your own house and do it at your own time when it's convenient for you. That is available to you. So before we go any further, I'm going to watch this myself so that I can make sure that this is working just fine. Is the one and only Lily Bennett, who is my daughter. And so here we go. I got it to where I can see it. I'm just waiting for it to catch up. And I see you, Katie. Good morning. Good morning to you. And I'm going to be reaching out to you, Katie. I want you to be one of my guests this on my show as I add additional shows this week. All right. It's showing myself trying to go to the thing and staring at it like a hilarious. I just wanted to make sure it comes up. I wish I had some like hold music playing while I'm waiting for this. La 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 la. Oh, I see. So okay, hold on. All right, here we go. La 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 la. Okay, you're so sweet. So it will be on a Saturday, the same time, 11 to 12. And no, ma'am, it would be my honor to have you. So I'm waiting to see if the screen changed. Can you let me know, Jamina or Katie, if the screen changed and it's actually showing the PowerPoint? Oh, this technology. I don't want to have to pull my daughter out of her room to come and help me. La 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 la. All right, I'm going to come out of this. So I had an amazing group of women that I coached on how to learn to read the tarot cards. Okay. We went through the tarot deck using traditional images and then adding additional images. And so so now I'm hoping that the thing is showing. I see the first PowerPoint slide. Okay, so can you see a new slide, Katie, that says Minnassa Spiritual Academy? Or Jamina, you can let me know. Or Mama Bear. One of you beautiful people, let me know if now the slide is changed and it says Minnassa Spiritual Academy. No. Now you just see me. All right, here we go. Let me try one more time. Okay, I wanted to be fancy because I don't like it how it goes when you're trying to show the cards, and I wanted to be all fancy, but okay, I'm going to just have to practice it. Do it the way I didn't want to do it. Okay, here we go. So this is Women's History Month. And so in honor of Women's History Month, I'm going to be doing today's cards from the mythological, I'm just trying to get my cards ready. There we go. The Mythological Goddess Tarot deck in honor of Women's History Month and in honor of the divine feminine that has been lost to us from religion. Yes, y'all see me because I came off trying to share. I'll have to practice with Lily. And so before we move any forward, let's just take a moment to breathe in and breathe out and come centered. I've already set this space as a safe and sacred space. I've called in and welcome the angels of love and light and the angels of protection so that we are guided, guarded, protected, and divinely directed during this time. So let's just take a deep breath in and out. So the deck that I will be using today is the Mythical Goddess Tarot deck. And what I love about this deck is that it is a traditional, it follows the traditional tarot deck. And so that means it's 78 cards. It has a major arcana and a minor arcana. The major arcana is 22 cards and the minor arcana is 56 cards. Now, what I love about this is that this deck is all female centered. And so I'm just trying to see. Make sure that we are all set up. There we go. Sorry for all the technical difficulties. La, 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 la. And now here we go. And so what I love about this deck is that it uses all women images. So even on things that are traditionally male images in the tarot deck, they have a feminine aspect. And so where the tarot deck has cups, wands, swords, and pentacles, they use the not traditional, but they use the traditional elements, which are fire. So here's the Ace of Fire. Water or seas, which is the Ace of Seas. My girl right here, the Ace of Earth, just manifestations. And I have two of these decks. And so this lady is sitting on my nightstand. And then the Ace of Winds. The Ace of Winds. So using earth, water, fire, and air as for the suits of the minor arcana. And so how does this deck take care of the court cards? Because the court cards have basically three male images: the page, the knight, the page, the knight, and the king. And so how do they take care of that? So in this, they have the child, which is in the place of the page, the maiden, which is in the place of the knight, the mother, of course, in the place of the queen, and then the crone, who in the place of the king. So they have child, maiden, mother, and crone for the court cards. And then what I love is that the major arcana, all women, all pulled, of course, mythical goddess, all goddesses, all major divine feminine energies from different traditions, different religions, using them. And so it is very beautiful. So I want to go through the court cards, and then this is where the readings will come from. So today I will be doing many readings. So get your questions ready. Don't put them in now. And your readings will come from the major arcana of this deck today. And so the first card in the major arcana, which of course is the Fool, and you have here Uzumi. And Uzumi here is doing a wild and body dance. And it's to get the attention of someone who's later in the tarot deck. So I won't tell any more about it. The card, which is of course card number 1, the Magician in the traditional tarot deck, we have Morgan Le Fay here. Again, a woman who is very powerful and has been written down in history in a horrible, horrible way, because powerful women aren't honored in a patriarchal society. And so even for the spiritual center where I serve as the assistant spiritual director, I'm putting a sermon together or my message together, and I'm honoring Thecla. Thecla is a Greek Orthodox church saint and a Catholic saint. And this is a powerful woman, but we don't hear about it because powerful women aren't honored in patriarchal systems. And so to have Morgan Le Fay honored in this deck is beautiful. And of course, the sorceress equaling the magician. The next card, of course, card number 2 is the High Priestess. And look here, Isis. Look at her in her glory, just looking so powerful, wearing her crowns of Upper and Lower Egypt and her wings spread out. Hey, hey, Sonia, just looking so good. And then the third card is my girl right here, Kuan Yin, the gracious goddess of Buddha, or the female Buddha. She had the capacity to rise to that Christhood, to that Buddhahood, and she is chosen to stay at the realm where she is helping and serving us. Now this card, the fourth card, would be the Emperor, and here we have Lilith, who is represented by power. And do you know the story of Lilith? If you've ever said a lullaby or sang a lullaby, you were really singing a Lilith goodbye. So Lilith, if you read the traditional text of the Tanakh, which we in a Christian world call the Old Testament, in the Tanakh and in Genesis, there's 2 creation stories. Most people don't know that. There's a creation story that has Adam and Eve, which is in Genesis 2. But in Genesis 1, male and female are made on the same day. So all these churches that say women are submissive to men because, God created man first. Okay, that's if you're reading the second version of the creation narratives. But in the first version, man and woman are made on the first day. And so the first wife of Adam is in that, and she is Lilith. Well, Lilith wasn't putting up with Adam trying to be on top all the time for the pank. And so she let him know. And he was like, no. And she's like, I was made on the same day as you. I am equal to you. I don't have to be submissive and under you and subservient to you. So then she got kicked out of the place. And then Eve came next. And so that's the story of Lilith. So, of course, any woman who is powerful, who is standing her ground, who is speaking her truth, gets vilified in patriarchal text. So then Lilith becomes this demon and she wants to kill children. And so you would sing a lullaby to keep Lilith away from your children, which is so great, but it is what it is. Oh, Lilith. So now our 5th card, which is, trying to think, what is the 5th card after the Emperor? Oh, it's the Hierophant. And so, of course, the wise woman, the Sophia, the wisdom of the divine feminine. Next is 6th, which is ecstatic union. I know, Sonia, isn't it just, it's like, folks don't know. We do not know how many powerful women have been kept from us historically, but not no more. So here is Shakti, Shiva Shakti, ecstatic union, and this is representing the Lover's card. So I don't know if you've ever seen an image of Shiva, the Hindu god, where he's half woman and half man. And that's this concept, the Shiva Shakti. Shakti, Lakshmi, and Durga came for me one day in a good and beautiful way in one of my readings. Oh, it was so great to be overpowered by them and empowered by them and connected by them. But this Shakti is this divine presence. It's the essence of creation. In Jewish traditions, it's called the Shekinah, God's feminine equal. And so again, if you paid attention in Sunday school and they're talking about in the Old Testament, they're trying to tear down these Asherah poles and all these people always worshiping Asherah. Why? She was the queen of heaven. She was the female god. Most people know that whether you like me or LGBTQ and you love a woman now, because I had a baby, I loved men before. So I'm the B in the LGBTQ. But to reproduce, you got to have a man and a woman. You got to have some sperm and eggs. And so in those ancient cultures, even though they had all sorts of matchups were fine, they knew that for there to be balance and for there to be harmony, there had to be that divine and masculine and divine feminine and divine masculine. And so even the ancient Jews had a female god, but she gets knocked out of the Bible, but they continue to worship her. And we'll actually have another goddess who's later that same thing. People like, you need to keep your man god. And so again, let me put her back up here. Shakti, which is that ecstatic union of that oneness of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And so now we have Athena for the chariot, the Greek goddess Athena. And you know, it's very funny because Athena, we're going to have Kali coming up, very strong and powerful divine feminine. I remember, you know, in the African American community and parts of it, there's a real struggle between men and women. And so even there's a song from back in the day, ain't no woman like the one I got. And then he talks about my word she obeys. Like, fuck you, nigga. Oh, sorry. Excuse me, but I'm just letting the truth come. I was like, I'm not obeying you. But again, back in the 70s and the 60s, that was how they wanted a woman to be. You gonna obey me. And so this whole aspect of women being subservient and powerless. And so in this struggle, this one Black man said, well, I just want Black women to, you know, show their divine feminine. And I thought, okay, here's here's divine feminine right here. A very powerful woman, a warrior, right? So that there is that balance of the divine feminine. All right, I'm starting to preach. So here we go. Card number 8 is the sacred law. So this is the strength card and the crow woman from our native brothers and sisters. Card number 9, representing the hermit and sage and wisdom. Sweet goddess Yamaya from the motherland. When you go to Starbucks, you are paying homage to this great goddess, the first of the mermaids. And here she is in all her beauty. Card number 10, representing, can't know if you can see my necklace, is Lakshmi, the wheel of fortune, bringing abundance and prosperity. And so very beauty, honoring her during Diwali, opening your home and making sure that it's clean. You sweep out the old to make room for the new abundance that Lakshmi is going to bring in the wheel of fortune, bringing fortune and good luck to you. Card number 11 being the sacred fire, the justice card, white buffalo calf woman. And again, representative of our Native American sisters. And then card number 12, the hanged man. It's about learning how to change your perspective, to have Mother Mary and sacrifice. Now, a lot of people don't know that in that narrative, it just seems like a deal. Oh, God's going to make you have a baby. And she's like, good with that. But in that day, for an unmarried woman to have a baby, it meant you were going to get stoned to death, and not stoned on weed or booze, but with rocks being thrown at you. And so again, how do you honor this wonderful thing that is being brought to you, knowing that it could also be the end of your life? And so that, of course, the story is not honor. She's just subservient, and good for her. Looky here. Here's my daughter's girl right here. Kali, representing death. And again, Kali coming from the third eye of Shakti, the third eye of Durga, coming out fierce and powerful, but it's that mother fierceness. There's not a mother on this planet, I'll say, or most. If I thought someone was trying to harm my daughter, they'd see a side of me that, and now I'd be bringing in all this divine feminine power. Shoot, they wouldn't know what hit them. And so number 14, here is the goddess Brigitte. And what I love about her is that she's Saint Brigitte in the Catholic Church for the very reason that when she went to Scotland and the Celtic areas and tried to bring their man god, they're like, no, we have Brigitte. No, no, we have Brigitte. No, So they said, oh, well, she's a saint. She's in, right? They just brought her on into the church. And then that's how they got him. It's hilarious that, oh, she's a paganist and she's horrible. Y'all won't get rid of her. She's a saint. Oh, I've had 2 profound experiences with Kali. The beautiful cards. Which are these? So these are my Mythical Goddess Tarot. And actually, they're celebrating this 10th anniversary. I bought this deck. I bought one of this deck in Sedona, Arizona. And Sonia, for you and EQ, I don't know if you ever go up to the San Fernando Valley, but there is an amazing store on Ventura and Reseda. You can Google it. It's called the Imagine Center for Lightworkers. That is where I had my part of my training with Goddess Tahita She. Well, you're going to walk in there and be like, I've stepped into the presence of the divine. It's amazing. I would say almost like stepping into a church, just so holy and so sacred. And that's where I got my second deck there. So you got a phone call. Oh, okay. Oh, you went away. Well, you're welcome back. Welcome back. So card 15, we have Mary Magdalene, initiation. And so again, why is Mary Magdalene a prostitute? And now we're finding out that she was actually, how did Cedric the Entertainer say that? That she was Jesus' baby mama, right? That you have that deck on your wish list. Okay, yes. That's right. That she was Jesus' baby mama. That's right, Jamina, just laughing. That again, a powerful woman that when Jesus speaks the word, upon this rock I will build my church. Mary Magdalene was right there. And then who was at the grave in the narrative? Were Jesus's disciples there? No. Mary Magdalene. And so it says Mary, his mother, and the other Mary is how she's referred to. But Mary, his wife, is who was there. So card 16, representing the tower, we have the purifier, Pele. So the great goddess from Hawaii, who makes my birthstone, or if your birthday's in August. And then number 17 being the star. 18 being the moon, and bringing in this awesome moon goddess, Ixchel. She's Aztecian or Incan, but very powerful. Look at her rainbow skirt, because she uses rainbow magic and she uses jaguar magic. And I have a jaguar brooch that I wear in honor of her. In honor of her. You just got goosebumps from who? Katie. So now here is Amaterasu, who represents the sun. And so I said in our very first person, who is Azumi, the fool, is doing a super body dance. And so what happened was Amaterasu got sick of people's mess on Earth. And so the sun went into a cave. And so they're like, come out, Amaterasu, come out. We're going to fix it. It's all A-okay. And she was like, So then Uzumi started doing a wild and body dance. And all the gods were laughing and enjoying themselves and having so much fun that Amaterasu came out to see what was going on. Card number 20, which is the Great Void, which is a deity. So this is a Hindu entity. So this would be very similar also to the cosmic egg. We're in that void, which is where my daughter is in her life right now. She's not liking it, but in that void, in that place where it appears that nothing is happening, there is much being given birth to. And then the last card is 20, Mother Gaia, the world, honoring this great goddess, the planet that is evolving with us, and that we have the capacity to be agents of evolution for her as well. And I'm going to move my laptop because I want to have plenty of space to do my cards, to do the readings. And so thank you all for your support and your comments. Indeed. So I'll show you again that this is the Mythical Goddess Tarot. I probably would have been good if I had put a link to the cards. I'm still learning, so put a link to the cards. So the Mythical Goddess Tarot. And in the midst of not being able to see me, I ask you to let's get connected. So if you are not following me or have not listened to my podcast, I invite you to do so. And let's hook up on Instagram. And I do have a Facebook, Minnassa Gabon. And like Sonia, I have a little buy me a coffee thing. All those links are in there. And then also for my, if you're wanting to know more about the tarot and the tarot system from a group of beautiful women that I had the capacity to coach, I teaching them how to read the tarot meetings, and then we would have a coaching session individually where they would use the tarot cards and exercise their intuition. I have put the link for my for that class in the little description. All right, that was a lot of information. I'm so glad that you love the cards. I love this deck, and my daughter loves to get readings from this deck. And so it's a very beautiful deck. Let me say the names of the women who did this. I don't want to in any way dishonor them. So Sage Holloway is the author of the deck, and then Catherine Skaggs is the artist. And let me put their names up here so you can see them. Sage Holloway and Catherine Skaggs. And I thank you, ladies. I thank you for this beautiful deck. Okay, so you're welcome. So that was just the major arcana. I didn't even touch the touch the minor arcana, but I just, in honor of Women's History Month, there is a history of women, of the goddesses that was kept from us. And I want us to be able to connect to that energy too, because that shows our power and that shows our multiplicity, that yes, sometimes we're weak and sometimes we're sexy and sometimes we're vulnerable and sometimes we're powerful, and we're always connected to the divine. We're always one with the source of all that is. And that is lost when we are robbed of those images. And this deck is a beautiful, 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 beautiful reminder of that. So I'm doing mini readings. So if you want to put your question up, I would appreciate it. The mini readings are coming from the major arcana of this deck today. So put your questions in, or if you want just a general reading, then say that it doesn't have to be about something, but let me know if you would like to receive a reading. And as you see, I'm shuffling the cards, so I want to do some readings. Just put it in the deck and don't put it in the chat, and don't be shy. And let me also put in the name of the deck in here. The Mythical Goddess Tarot is the name, just in case. So for the folks who catch me later, they can see it right there. And thank you for all of you for just showing your love. Oh, and let me put this. I want Sonia to see this. The Imagine Center. San Fernando Valley, Reseda, and Ventura. It's just a little bit west of, that's not the right way to spell Ventura. All right, so who would like to have a reading? I will again be using the, just from the major arcana from the Mythical Goddess Tarot. Now, don't everyone raise your hand at once. And I'll do it old school, like when I used to be the youth pastor. I'll just pick you for a reading. Ooh. No, I don't want to be that way. So what I'll do first is I'm just going to pull 3 cards, in this month of Women's History Month. And I think it's very interesting that Putin would do some foolishness and start this hot mess over in Ukraine in the midst of Women's History Month. And I really feel that we have the capacity as women to bring the force of our divine feminine energy to really stop what's going on over there. And so I'm going to pull 3 cards from the deck. What is the energy of the collective during this month? And of course, it being Pisces season, so how perfect that we would be in this divine, intuitive, mystical, dreamy sign as we step into this month. And then, of course, we end Women's History Month in the fire, powerful, assertive, confident sign of Aries. And so we come in, come in deep and then go out powerful. And so I really love that for this month of March. So I'm going to pull 3 cards and let's see what the energy is for the collective from these divine feminine women. Oh, I love it. So I'll show you the cards. The first card we got is Brigitte, which is alchemy. The next card is Mother Mary, which is sacrifice. And then the next card is Wisdom Sophia. And again, Sophia isn't just the goddess of wisdom. If you read any of the sacred texts, especially from the Tanakh or the Old Testament, wisdom is the energy of God. And so she too is God, the creatrix. And so let's talk about Brigitte here. So the first card is about alchemy. And this is really the opportunity during this time to work your magic. You've got all the ingredients. Now bring it together. This may work good here and this may work good here, but when you bring it together, it creates a real power. And alchemy, like how kids always make those volcanoes, they pour seltzer water on something and it explodes, right? So this is that time. Bring your chemical and work your magic. Work your magic in your relationships. Work your magic in your family. Work your magic in your business. That those of us who are light workers and have our businesses, this is the time. This is the time. And then to remember the 12 card here, which is sacrifice, and also has to do with that heart of flame. Are you connecting with your passions? And that, again, that 12 card, the hangman, changing, what is your perspective? Sometimes you can just bull right ahead, but there may be time to take a pit stop and go this way and take a rest and go this way and take a rest and then get back on track for going forward. And so changing that perspective on how you use your magic. And then, of course, this last card, using it with wisdom. And wisdom comes from deep within. Wisdom isn't something you get outside. You can't go to school and learn to be wise. And so the energy for this month really is to go deep within to that creative aspect of ourselves, to that powerful aspect of ourselves. And then to look at that power from different perspectives. Not from, again, look at how religion has taught us that powerful women get kicked out of the Garden of Eden and they get vilified and demonized. Even in the story that I'm going to, part of my message today, talk about Thecla. So Thecla has some powerful miracles. And so what does this man says, well, these can't be real because, Jesus's miracles were all subdued and, not flashy. And it's like, really, I think raising someone from the dead would be very flashy. Walking on water would be very flashy, right? So, but again, when a man is coming from that patriarchal point of view, and then work your magic, do it, work your magic. This is the time. This is the month. You've got what you need. Check in more with that wisdom. Change that perspective. Your power looks good on you, and the world needs your power. And then work it. All right, Jamina, is the move that I wanted to make possible at this time. And thank you for all you do. You are such a beauty. Thank you, my friend. All right, let me go. I say all things are possible. Let's see if this is the right timing. Oh, girly girl, it's looking good. Let me show you your cards. So the World, the Fool, and the Great Void. And so, of course, anytime I get the World in a reading, what do I say? The world is at your feet. What you want to do, where you're ready to go, it's all there. So this is a good yes, yes, yes. The world is at your feet. And then your next card tells you to do it with boldness. Move forward. Don't think about how things could have worked or what. Just go ahead and move forward. And then the great void, that as you move forward, there is things that are going to come forward from the universe. There are gifts, there are opportunities, there are people who are ready to be birthed to help you, to empower you, to support you. So move forward, girl. Do it with boldness and let the universe bring you what you need. I'm excited, and keep in contact with me about that. When I was doing my Saturday Solutions reading video this morning, I had 5 cards fall out that took my breath away. All right, I'm interested. You caught me. And so, Katie, are you wanting me to give you a reading? How about Sonia? And I don't know if Mama Bear is here anymore. I haven't seen her making comments, but she was here at the beginning. And so I was glad to have her. And anyone else, should you be lurking? It's funny watching myself on the, it's got me just a little bit behind. All right. Oh, I will take a general card from Spirit. A general, thank you, Katie. All right, let's see. Always general. You got a power pack. So here we go, Katie. So Sophia, wisdom. The high priestess, Isis. And then Kuan Yin, the Empress. And so I love this general reading. It's like, go big, bring it high. Do it, girl. So, because you got that wisdom. And then, of course, in this picture, she's ready to give birth. And so it's time to give birth to that new thing. Hey. Oh, Lisa, can you send me an email or reach out to me on Instagram? I'm wanting to do something new this month, which is have women join me as guests every week instead of first and second week. And I don't know how to get in contact with you, but I would love to have you as one of the guests. And so I know how to get in touch with Katie and Sonia and EQ, but I don't know how to get in touch with you. And if any of you know how to get in touch with Flowing, and I don't know what her first name is, could you also let me know that? So, okay, so here we go. So back to you, Katie, this great wise woman ready to give birth to that wisdom. You know, you talked about your grandmother who was the hillbilly healer. And so there is that line of healing, and as you use plants medicine, that there is a real power in your line. And so that's why you get 1, the high priestess, and then 2, Kuan Yin. That it's like you're not operating in any small. You got boom, you got power coming to you, and even from your father's side of the family. And so bring that power forward, and this is the time with your plant medicine, with your business, and even with the things, I just see that maybe if there's just a little bit of things you're concerned about with your body and you're wanting to take some bigger steps, do that and do it from a place of power. That's one of the things this month. That is the theme at the place where thank you, Lisa, where I'm at the spiritual center, that the theme is women speaking truth from power, not speaking truth to power. Okay, Katie, they're super personal and I gave you answers. I am grateful. I am grateful for that. Very, very good. Okay, Sonia or Lisa, would you like a reading? And, you know, I may have missed it in the notes. Like I missed Katie's initially. Let me just take a look. Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Katie. I'm glad that it resonated with you. Well, we don't have any more readings. I'm not going to, I'm not going to belabor the point. I am so glad to have had this time with all of you together. I'm excited. I don't get to interact with Spirit Intuitive Tarot, Lisa, very much because, you know, like Ron's show, I love to go on that show, but I am just, scroll up for your question, but I'm like sleepy. You know, scroll up for your question. I was trying to find it, Sonia. Oh, how do these next few months look for you? All right. Sorry. I got you. They look great. Because I'm holding that energy for you, that they look great and that you'll be empowered and that new opportunities were open for you and that you will feel the love of the divine flowing through you and empowering you to step out in your life in new ways. Now, that's a prophetic word from Minnassa. And so I'm excited. And my guides were like, yeah, you better tell the girl. So now let's pull the cards. But yes, these next few months are looking great for you. You're going to be empowered, golden opportunities, and Spirit's going to move through you in ways that you couldn't even know to ask, but we'll just be overjoyed. You're welcome, Mina. All right, here we go. So, oh, yes. I love it when the plan comes together. Oh, without even pulling the cards, Sonia, look, without even pulling the cards, I spoke that prophetic word over you. Here you go. Lilith, power. Ichil, the moon, means your intuition. And then Isis, the high priestess, operating in your divine energy. It's always funny for me to do readings for highly intuitive readers themselves. It's like, here's your cards. Okay, next, right? But here we go. So Lilith, representing power, and power that's at sometimes had to stand by herself, had to do her own thing. And that even when she was demonized, she still stood in her power. She still knew what she was about. And so what is coming to you next month is, in these next few months, is hold your power. You know that there may be people like, well, you're going to try to, it's okay to have your little cards, for when your friends come over, but you want to try to make a business out of this and you want to talk to dead folks? Girl, please, you just, you letting white folks get to you, right? Because that's part of the thing they say in our community. What they don't know is that was ours back in the motherland. And so that has belonged to us. So in the next month, this is your opportunity to be like Lilith. Speak your power. I will do this and I will not do that. I am your equal. Someone tries to say, well, listen, you ain't been in this as long as me. No, the spirit of the living God has been in you all the time, and you can move forward with that. And so I want to encourage you to take the time to look up Ixchel. This is an amazing Aztec goddess. And she operates with moon magic. And so she used plant medicine. And so I really feel that this is an opportunity for you to take your plant medicine to a new way, but to really, not that you don't do this already, but to do it in a way that, I don't know how to say that this is your sacred calling. Just like a doctor goes to school and they study and, they understand their sacredness, that this is really a sacred healing ministry for you. That this isn't your little side gig, but just as your tarot work and your oracle, your intuitive work and your healing work with your plant medicine, to also be open to using your Reiki, right? Let's get you, if you need your last attunement, let me know. I will gladly give that to you so that you can step into that place, because there are people around you who need your healing magic. And sometimes that's just your presence. Sometimes it's standing in your power. And sometimes it's using your plant medicine. Another time it's your Reiki medicine. But in these next few months, there comes an opportunity for you to use that power and to really be used to doing that. Lilith stood her ground. And she'd been demonized for a lot of years. And then women historians, women theologians got into the studies and found out what had happened to her. And they're like, she is not an awful person. She is a wonderful person. And they brought her back around. So I also see that for you, that there's some people who have not honored you and not supported you. And you'll see that that what they thought about you will be proved wrong, because it was wrong from the beginning, and that there will be some support coming back to you. And then, of course, ending with this great woman, Isis, the high priestess. And that in this, you see her crown here, lower and upper Egypt. And you see Hathor wearing this as well, and many of the other Egyptian goddesses. And this is about bringing your power together, learning to be a spiritual being in this physical world. You talked about honoring your body on your show last week, and it really made me think about that. I make sure on these shows that you can't see my big bosom, or as Oprah calls it, my grandmother bosom, because one day someone made a comment like, yeah, I like those big titties you got. And I was like, dag, I hear I'm doing tarot readings and that's all you're seeing? right? And so it was like, So, but we are being called as light workers, and you are being called to that Shiva Shakti, to be that divine light, soulful, powerful, eternal being that you are, and to be that more out in the world through this amazing earth entity, earth being that you have. Oh, I'm excited. I'll be watching your shows. Hey, Cartomancy Mesquite, welcome. So good to see you. So glad that you're here. Thank you, Katie, for sharing your cards. They are in the chat. I'm not going to say them out loud because you felt a very personal connection to them, and I want to honor that. But yeah. I will say I always love getting the sun in the reading because that means all is bright, all is shining on you. Move forward. The sun brings light, the sun brings healing, the sun brings hope. So it's all very good. And so, I'm digging these readings. Anyone else? Tiny messages from my guides. Hey, Jao, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Oh, Sonia, of course. I'm excited for you, girlie. Any messages from my guides towards the online business I'm trying to build? Thank you. Oh, my honor. And you know what? Work that business. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you already. Because so many, my wife's right now taking classes and learning how to run a business that we moved back here to do, but now she's with the group. And this lady, she's the leader because she has the vision, and it's just amazing. So one of the things is I hope, I don't know if we have a card that will say that, but remember, ask for support, be open. All right, so here we go. Ooh. Just talked about how much I love the sun. All right, very good. And so Jao or Joao, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. The first card you got was Sophia Wisdom, the sun, which is great, Amaterasu, and then Kali. And so some of you are new. This is the deck that I'm using today. The Mythical Goddess Tarot by Sage Holloway and Catherine Skaggs in honor of Women's History Month. So the first card for you is about connecting to your wisdom, but more importantly, connecting to your intuition. When you're interacting with institutions, if you have a feeling like, hey, I need to call this person, say, no, I don't want to bother them, call them. If you have a feeling to check your emails, check your spam mails, that this is really an opportunity, but your guides are working it out behind the scenes. So if they're telling you, call this person, say, I just talked to them an hour ago, call them again. Really check in. The Wisdom Sophia is the creatrix. So what you're applying for is really going to be something bigger for your business. Is going to go in a new direction, and it's going to grow in a different type of way. So they're inviting you to connect to that divine wisdom and understand that when that financing comes to you, that when that offer comes to you, to be prepared to use it in an expanded way. And the way that I know that, of course, is having the sun. So doors are opening, favor is coming your way, but be prepared. And oftentimes the hard card is the death card, and this is with Kali. So what you think you're going to do with that online business, I just really have a sense of you'll get the financing, but be prepared for your guys to say, now this is what we want you to do. So I really get the feeling that maybe you've had a couple dreams, or you've had a couple other readings where they said, have you looked at this business from this perspective? Or would you see this business at this perspective? So it's not about killing that business, but it's about sometimes we have a vision that was small. It was big for us at one time, but it's small now, and your guides are wanting to expand it. So they're saying, open your hands, so that they can not only put more money in it, but they can put a bigger vision for that business. So as funds come to you, you're able to serve a bigger audience and able to shine your light on a bigger stage. So I hope that resonates with you, and I'm excited to hear about your online business. And let's all hold space for her, for favor, for open doors, and for golden opportunities. And the same for Sonia and Katie and Jamina, for everyone on here, for all of us that have our businesses. We would hold space, and this would be a sacred community where we could hold space for each other's success, each other's growth, and each other's protection. We have got a few minutes left. Would anyone else like to have a reading? And good to meet you, Joe. I don't remember, I get on these other sites. I haven't seen you before, but thank you so very much. And please follow me on Instagram or send me a request so that I know how to follow you so that I can support you in your business. If there's no one else, I will close out our time together. I'm so glad to meet some new people. Thank you for being here again. Thank you for those of you that will watch it after the fact. I think that's hilarious to me. And so I'm grateful. Thank you to whoever made YouTube and StreamYard. Thank you for making opportunities that even old folks like me or older women like me can learn how to use. Now, of course, it didn't work well today with the, did you saw any timeline? Let's see it. Let me pull one card. The sun. So the sun means go now. Now is the time to move. Now is the time to move. So I'm going to close out our time here today, but just sending you some Reiki energy. So if you are open to receiving that, you just say, I'm open to receiving that, as we are just going through so many things. And to just remember to send love and light. I know a lot of people are mad with Vladimir Putin, and I too, because I have friends in the Ukraine. They were at my virtual wedding. And I've known them for years. And they had to put their families on trains to stay safe. But we need love in this situation. And so there can be righteous anger, but let's send love to this man. Let's send love to the Russian soldiers so that they will think twice about what they're doing and hold space for Archangel Michael, who is the patron saint of the city of Kiev, to hold the forces and to bring space. And then I want to send Reiki healing to all of you. So whatever you need healing in, I ask that you be open to receiving that even now in this time. And I send you out from this time together with a heart full of gratitude, sending healing, love, and light. Just we'll go through your chakras, starting with the Earth Star chakra, that you will be grounded and rooted to Mother Earth, that all the resources that are a part of this great kingdom, this great Earth kingdom, will come to you at your root chakra, that you will be grounded and secured, knowing that everything you need, you brought with you when you came into this incarnation, and that everything you need is within you already, and that you would tap into that. Then to your sacral chakra, that there would just be a cleaning and a clearing and a releasing of anybody's opinion about you can't do that, or that's not a good way to make money, or no one's interested in that type of building or that type of business. I just see a lot of that energy. So let's just clear, and recalibrate that to the energy of creativity, of giving birth to new ideas, of holding sacred space for new ideas. For the solar plexus chakra, for healthy boundaries. Just because someone's your relative doesn't mean they have access to your life if you don't want them to. Just because people are related to you doesn't mean they're going to be a part of your life forever. And so setting that healthy boundary, which includes a boundary of loving yourself. All heart chakras, sending green and then pink light. Throat chakras, the blue light of lapis lazuli. So that we can speak truth from power, that we can speak our truth empowered, and that our throats will hear the sounds of love from ourselves first, and then love as we send it forth. Third eye chakra, empowering our intuition and knowing that our gifts are righteous, that they're powerful, and to use them in any and all circumstances, cloaked and guided in divinity. And then our crown chakra, expanding so that we could receive more of our soul information, more connection, and then cleaning and clearing that connection to the soul star chakra. That we open to more of our higher purposes, that we walk more in our higher purposes, and then just creating a clear channel of connection, filling your auric field with love and light and golden light, releasing you to a weekend, the rest of this day and Sunday, filled with favor, bliss, health, wealth, prosperity, and joy. And so it is. Blessings to all of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support and have a great, great weekend.